Hello everyone, welcome back to MalStorm Gaming. My name is Malachi Gardner, and today I'm going to be finishing up my playthrough of The Lord of the Rings LCG by Fantasy Flight Games. I hope you all enjoy the video. Alright, so last time where we left off, it was the end of the second round, and so now we're going to start the third round in the resource phase. So first we're going to go ahead and gain resources, so 1 resource per hero into their resource pools, and then we're going to draw a card. And it is Cram, and Cram costs 0, and it is an attachment that says attached to a hero, and then you can discard Cram to ready attached hero. So this is really nice if we want to be able to do 2 things with 1 character in a round. We can just give them Cram, and they can eat it to be ready, and what's really nice is it's free, so it doesn't cost us anything to do. So I think I would like to put this somewhere, but I don't know which hero to give it to. So first off, we can use Sam. Now, Sam already gets to ready an extra time during a round with his ability. If I engage someone with a higher engagement cost than my threat, I can ready him, and then he gets a bonus to all of his stats, and he can activate again. So I could have him have the Cram so that he could make an additional action, and have him do 3 actions in a round, which could be really nice. He could quest, then a defend, then attack, which would be pretty cool. I could also give it to Mary so that he can quest, and then if I really need to be able to take on an enemy, I can attack with Mary and hopefully be able to take on an enemy that way, or give it to Frodo and have him be able to defend an attack if I need to. So all those sound like pretty good options, but I think I'm actually going to go ahead and give it to Mary so I can discard Cram to attach the ready hero, which in this case is going to be Mary. So that'll be pretty nice. And then I have a bunch of cards here to choose. Alright, and then let's take a quick look at the cards in my hand. Last round I played Gandalf, and so I spent all my resources, so I don't really have that many. But I can play these 3 cheaper events. So I have another Test of Will, so if a nasty event comes out, or rather a nasty treachery comes out, I can cancel that. Or if it's just an enemy that has a nasty when revealed ability, I can just get rid of that. So that could be pretty good. I have Halfling Determination, so that could give me some extra stats, extra stat boost, which would be pretty good. So then Taste Again says, after a hero you control defends an attack made by an enemy with engagement cost higher than your threat, ready that hero. Until the end of the phase, that hero gets +2 attack while attacking the enemy, so that could be pretty useful as well. I don't think I'm going to play anything right now. I'm just going to go right into the questing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just quest with everyone like I have been doing, and that's worked out pretty well so far. And if things do go badly, then I always have Mary, who is able to eat that Cram and ready himself so that I can face whatever comes out. Okay, so since R1 is exhausting, she can give 1 resource to any hero. And so, let's see, I think I have some really nice tactics cards in my hand, so I'm going to give this to Mary so that he can get something out on the next turn. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from the enemy's deck, and it is a Goblin Spearman. So this enemy has an engagement cost of 15, which even though my threat is 23, which is very low, 15 is still lower than that, so he is actually going to be able to engage me, and I won't be able to ready Sam when he does, unfortunately. And then he's got 2 in all of his stats, actually, and so that's going to be a bit of a challenge, potentially. And then Goblin Spearman gets +2 attack if its attack is undefended. So that's not very good. Don't really like that guy, so we'll have to deal with that. So all told, the Wild Bear having 0 threat, and then the Goblin Spearman having 2, that is going to be a total of 2 threat. And then as in my previous turns, I'm going to have 9 willpower, so that's going to be placing 7 progress tokens on the location. And then we actually already have 14 progress tokens on the quest card, so we are going to go up to 21, which is going to be enough to clear it. So, going to remove all these tokens. And then we've completed this quest, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the top, and now we are at the Orc Outpost. And let's go ahead and read this right here. It says, heavy rain drives you to seek shelter among the caves of the mountains. They are dry, and the fire you start seeps into your bones and restores your spirit. Your eyes are heavy when the soft clatter of falling pebbles reaches your ears. Perhaps you are not alone. So we see here just 7 progress tokens to complete this quest, so if we have another turn that's just like this one, we'll be able to clear this in one turn, but it says, when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Goblin Gate, and add it to the staging area, if able. Then, if there's no active location, Goblin Gate becomes the active location. So, go ahead and, it's not in the discard pile, so I'm going to go ahead and search through the deck for the Goblin Gate location card. It's actually near the top. Alright, so then the Goblin Gate goes into the staging area, and since there's currently no active location, it is just going to become the active location. So we're actually not going to have to worry about that 5 threat value, which is very good. It has 4 progress tokens that need to get placed on it in order for me to clear this location. And it says, while Goblin Gate is the active location, the first enemy revealed from the encounter deck each round gains ambush. If that enemy engages a player, it makes an immediate attack. So, ambush is just this ability on the Wild Bear and on other cards in this encounter deck, which means that as soon as it's played from the encounter deck, it's going to make an engagement check. And then, because of this ability right here, if it attacks me, it's going to make an automatic attack, which is not good. So, next turn, if we were to draw another Goblin Spearman, it would engage me and make an immediate attack. And that's not something I like too much, so I'm going to want to get rid of this Goblin Gate. But first, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up this encounter deck. Okay, the deck is all shuffled up. Alright, so now we're moving on, and we're going to go to the travel phase, and there are no locations in the staging area, so we can't bring any down, and even if there were some locations in the staging area, we still couldn't bring them down because we already have an active location, and you can only have one location active at a time. So now we're going to go on to the encounter phase. First we have the optional engagement, so I can engage one of these enemies. If I would like to, I don't think I want to, because this Goblin Spearman is going to be engaging me no matter what, because his engagement cost is 15, and my threat is 23. So, whether I optionally engage him, or he engages me through an engagement check, it doesn't matter. He's going to have to engage me. So then, it's going to be the combat phase. So, we're going to deal him a shadow card, and unfortunately, the Goblin Spearman's engagement cost is lower than my threat, so I'm not actually going to be able to ready Sam, and so he's not actually going to be able to do anything, which is bad. And so now, the Goblin Spearman's going to be able to attack me. I don't have anyone ready, so I'm going to go ahead and discard this cram, and then ready Mary. Okay, alright, so now Mary is readied, and he has 3 attack. So he has 3 attack, which will be able to take out a decent amount of the Goblin Spearman's health, but before he can do anything, the Goblin Spearman gets to attack me first. And so, I have 2 options. Either I can defend against the attack, or I can let the attack hit one of my heroes. Undefended. Now, if the attack is undefended, then the Goblin Spearman gets +2 to his attack, which would be very bad, so I don't really want that to happen. But if I do defend with Mary, then Mary won't be able to attack. So I don't like either of those options, so I think I am going to have it be undefended, and hopefully this doesn't go really badly. I'm going to reveal this card, and oh man, this is really great because this card I revealed, the Orator's card, does not have a shadow effect. So it's just going to be discarded with no effect, and the Goblin Spearman is going to do 4 damage to one of my characters. 2 damage is going to be from his regular attack, but he gets +2 attack because of his ability and the fact that it was undefended, so it's going to be 4 damage to one of my characters. Now, I'm going to have it go to Frodo, because he has this ability, which says, after Frodo Baggins is damaged, cancel the damage, and instead raise your threat by the amount of damage he would have been dealt once per phase. So, I'm going to go ahead and raise my threat by 4, so now it is at 27. So then, we are going to be able to go on to the player attacks. So now, hopefully, we're going to be able to attack him and take him out. So, Mary, as I said, has 3 attack. The reason being is he gets +1 attack for each Hobbit hero I control, and so I have all 3 of my heroes are Hobbits, so he has 3 attack. I think I might go ahead and play this Halfling Determination, which would give him +2 attack, giving him a total of 5 attack, which would be able to break through his 2 armor and then deal him 2 damage. So I think that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pay that, and then his attack is going to go up to 5. Going to exhaust him. Oops, let's not mess up all these cards. Going to exhaust him, and he's going to take out the Goblin Spearman. Alright. Then we're going to go ahead and ready all of our characters and increase my threat and go on to the next round. So now I'm at 28 threat, which is now getting to a point where a decent amount of enemies could engage me. So not too happy about that, but let's go ahead and draw a card and gain resources. First we gain resources actually, so let's gain resources, draw a card. Alright, it's another skin bark. And so I have 2 of these, and so I might be tempted to play both of them. But the thing is, there's this little symbol here before Skinbark's name, and that symbol means that this character is unique. And so there cannot be 2 characters with the same name, Skinbark, in play at the same time. So I can't have both of these cards in play at the same time, but if I played one and he got defeated, I could then play the other one by paying the resources printed on the card. I actually now have a decent amount of resources, so I could play something, not quite enough to play Skinbark, but I could play the Ringmail, or what I'm thinking about doing is getting this Veteran Axe Hand. But of course, if I just waited one more turn, I could get the Skinbark. But of course, the Skinbark he enters play exhausted, and so he wouldn't actually do anything for a full round anyway. So I don't know. Do I need help right now, or can I wait for Skinbark? I don't know. Is there anything else I could play with some of my other characters? So after Arwen exhausts, I could give 1 resource to Frodo, and then Frodo could use this card and reduce my threat by 6 later on in this round. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and play this Veteran Axe Hand just to get some immediate help. And then I'm going to go ahead and exhaust some of these characters to attack. And I think I'm going to go with everyone except for Mary and the Veteran Axe Hand. And I'm going to add 1 resource to Frodo's pool. And then we'll go ahead and reveal this card here. Alright, so the Black Orcs here have a threat value of 32, so luckily they're not going to be engaging me. I'm very happy about that. But when they do, they're going to have 3 attack, 3 defense, and 2 health, so that's not great. When revealed, the first player must choose and discard an attachment from a questing character if able. So I will have to discard this Hobbit Cloak, unless I wanted to spend a resource to play a Test of Will. Things I don't think I actually want to use a Test of Will, because I might need it for something even more deadly than just a little reveal effect like this. So I am going to discard this card. Unfortunately, these guys are going to be contributing 2 threat to the enemy's side, but in this case I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's going to be enough to be able to place 5 progress tokens on the quest. Alright, so I've got my 5 progress tokens here, and we have a location. Progress tokens must be placed on the location before they're placed on the quest. So right here we need 4 progress tokens to be able to complete this location, so we'll place 4 here, and then we can place the last one on the quest card, and then that will be enough to actually discard this location from play. So there we go. Now the enemies coming out of the deck won't have ambush, which will be very nice. Okay, so now we can optionally engage enemies. Neither of these enemies are actually going to engage me during the engagement checks, because the orcs here have 32 threat, and then the bear has 34, and I'm at 28, so nothing is going to happen there. I could have one of them engage me, and then I could actually be able to ready Sam, because their engagement cost would be higher than my threat, and then I could have the Veteran Axe Hand and Mary, and then possibly Sam as well, all contribute and try to take down one of these characters here. And actually removing these orcs here would decrease the enemy's threat value by 2, which should allow me to hopefully be placing more progress tokens on this quest card, which could be very useful. So, is that what I want to do? Well, he's going to be making an attack of 3, and so I want to be able to defend against that. So if this guy were to engage me in attack, Sam would have 1 defense plus 1 from his ability, and so then he'd have 2 defense, and then when the orcs attack, it would be doing 3 damage subtracted by 2, so it would do 1 damage to Sam, so he would be fine. Unless there was some nasty ability coming in a shadow effect that dealt some extra damage to Sam, in which case things would be going very poorly. So I don't know about that, but if I were to engage these orcs here, and Sam did survive the attack, then Merry and the Veteran X-Hand would be able to defeat him, and that'd be very good. I think I'm going to go ahead and risk it, so I'm going to engage these guys. Ready, Sam, and draw this card here. Another thing I could do is I actually could use this Veteran X-Hand, exhaust him to defend. He would be defeated by this attack, but then Sam would be fine with no risk of being severely damaged. But I think I am going to go ahead and take this risk here, so hopefully this doesn't go poorly. Okay, phew. So this guy does not have any shadow effect, so I feel very relieved that Sam is not going to be defeated. So that's going to be 3 damage, minus 2, so that's going to be just 1 damage to Sam. Tis but a scratch, not too bad. So now I'm going to be able to attack, and so Mary's going to attack. That'll do 3 damage, and then the Veteran Axe-Hand is going to join in, and so that'll add 2 extra attacks, so it'll be 5 attack total. 3 that will be blocked, and then 2 that goes through. Alrighty, so in total, that's going to be enough to take out this orc, and now he is defeated. Okay, so now I'm going to gain 1 threat, ready all of my characters, and then we can start on the next round. So I'm going to go ahead and gain 1 resource to each of my heroes' pools, and then draw a card. Ooh, Unexpected Courage. So this card says to attach it to a hero, and then exhaust Unexpected Courage to ready attached hero. So it's kind of like Cram, except every turn you're able to exhaust Unexpected Courage to ready the attached hero. So that's very good. I do like that card quite a bit. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 resources from Frodo's pool to play Unexpected Courage. And then I'm going to play him on Merry, so that Merry will be able to quest and contribute his 2 willpower, but then if an enemy attacks me, I can just ready him and have him do some damage. So let's go ahead and start questing. So right now there's no real threats in the staging area. This wild bear isn't going to be doing anything to me for a while, unless my threat goes up by a lot, which hopefully it won't. And then hopefully later on in my turn I'll be able to play this card and reduce my threat by 6. Which is actually something I forgot to do last turn, but since I forgot, it allowed me to play Unexpected Courage, so it actually worked out. So I'm going to go ahead and quest with Arwen, Frodo, Merry, and Sam. And then we'll go ahead and gain 1 resource here to Frodo. We'll draw a card, and it is a Goblin Spearman. So he is going to be able to engage me later on in this turn, because of his start just being 15. So now I have my... So now I'm back to my 9 willpower, and they're back to their regular 2 threat value. So I'm going to place 7 more progress tokens on this quest card. There are no locations in the way, and there's actually already 1 progress token on the quest card, so we just need 6. And so that'll allow us to complete this quest, but unfortunately the extra 6 won't be able to be placed on this new quest card, unfortunately. But it's the 3rd stage, 3rd and final stage, I might say, and then it's called Approaching Rivendell. Orcs and other creatures have hounded you since fighting your way free of the orc outpost. Soon you will reach the safety of Rivendell's borders, but supplies have dwindled and you are dead weary from sleepless nights of keeping watch as dark forms shadow your camp. Alright, 13 progress tokens, so just a couple more turns. Hopefully I'll be able to place all those on there. It says when revealed, reveal 1 card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. Oh, that's unfortunate. Characters cannot be healed. Okay, so I can't heal during this stage, but it shouldn't be too bad, because I actually don't even think I put any healing cards in my deck. But even if I did have some, I wouldn't be able to use them. And then if players defeat this stage, they have won the game. So once you place 13 progress tokens on this card, we win the game. But first, we have to reveal an additional card. And it is the Ruined Road. And so this is a location. It says response: after you travel to Ruined Road, the first player places 2 progress tokens on it or readies 1 hero he controls. Just 1 threat and then 5 progress tokens. Okay. So now we can choose to go travel to the Ruined Road, or we can just ignore it. If we go to the Ruined Road, we will then have to place 5 progress tokens on it before we can go place progress tokens on Approaching Rivendell. Although, if we travel here, we can actually place 2 progress tokens on it because of its responsibility, or we could ready one of our heroes. If we do decide to ignore it, it is going to be adding its threat value to the overall threat value of the staging area, so that's not something I really want. So I think I am going to go ahead and travel here, and then I'm going to be able to place 2 progress tokens on it or ready one hero I control. So the Goblin Spearman is going to be engaging me, so we won't be able to ready Sam because the Goblin Spearman only has an engagement cost of 15, so I could ready Sam through the Ruined Road, and then he'd be able to defend against the Goblin Spearman's attack, and then I could have Mary and the Veteran Axion take him out, or I could actually ready Frodo Baggins, and then he'd be able to defend against the attack as well. So, let's see, do I want to do that, or I could just place 2 progress tokens on the Ruined Road, which would allow me to get through that location and then hopefully get to the quest just a little bit faster. So if I do not ready anyone through the Ruined Road, I will have Mary, because he'll be able to exhaust Unexpected Courage to ready himself. So I'd have Mary and then the Veteran Axion. Together, they'd be able to take out the Goblin Spearman, but they wouldn't be able to defend against his attack. So then he'd have to hit Frodo and increase my threat by 4. So I think I am going to go ahead and ready Frodo so that that doesn't happen, keep my threat down, because as you've maybe noticed, the hobbits are at their best when your threat is very low. As soon as it gets a little bit higher, they're really not as good, and they can't get their extra bonuses as, like, Sam readying or using the hobbit cloaks or various things. So I want to keep my threat as low as possible. So Goblin Spearman is going to be... So I'm going to ready Frodo, and the Goblin Spearman is going to engage me, and he's going to get a Shadow card, and Frodo is going to exhaust to defend against the attack. No Shadow effects. That's good. I haven't had any of those so far in this game. But of course, now that I say that, I'm going to get a bunch of really nasty ones. That's just kind of how it goes. So then, the Goblin is going to do 2 damage to Frodo. He has 2 defense, so nothing's going to happen there. And he does not get that bonus attack like the other Goblin Spearman did because it is not an undefended attack, and I am using Frodo to defend. Then Mary and the Veteran Axion are going to take him out. So then I'm going to go ahead and ready all of my characters, and I am actually going to just save my 3 resources, not play this card quite yet, because last time I forgot to do it, and it actually worked out well. So I'm just going to keep it, and I will be able to play at the beginning of my turn anyway if I don't draw a card that needs those resources, so it won't really make much of a big deal. So I'm just going to go ahead and gain my resources. My threat is now 30, which I don't like. In a normal game, that's not too bad, but in a Hobbit deck, that's not something I want. I'm going to draw a card, and it is another Hobbit Cloak. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this card, finally. It's going to cost me 3, and I'm going to reduce my threat by 6. So now I'm down to 24. Alright, there we go. Feel nice and safe. And then I'm going to play the Hobbit Cloak, and I'm going to put it on Sam, so he's going to get another Hobbit Cloak. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, exhaust everyone. I think that's still what I'm going to keep doing. Right. Oh, actually, that's interesting. I just realized I could actually give the ring mail to the Veteran Axion because it says attached to a dwarf or hobbit character, not dwarf or hobbit hero. So I could give it to the Veteran Axion and have him be the person defending. That actually is an interesting idea. Then you get +1 hit point and +1 defense. You know what? I think we're going to do that. So I'm just going to take those and then going to exhaust everyone to have them quest. So then Arwen's going to be able to give 1 resource to somebody, and the most expensive cards in my hand are now red, so I'm going to give it to Mary. And then I'm going to go ahead and reveal a card. The Orc Raiders. So they have 21 as their engagement cost, so they are going to be able to ambush me because even though I reduced my threat, I'm still at 24. So they're going to be able to engage me. It says, after Orc Raiders engages a player, that player discards 2 attachments he controls if able. I do not like that. Okay, so he's going to engage me. As an ambush effect, and then I have to discard 2 attachments I control. So I think I'm going to lose the Hop Cloak again, and then I'm actually going to lose the Ringmail, because Unexpected Courage, I think, is the thing that I'd like to keep out of all of those. Seems the most useful. So actually, playing that Ringmail saved me from losing the Unexpected Courage. So that actually worked out well. But still, it is unfortunate that Sam again lost his Hobbit Cloak. He just can't seem to keep one of those things on him. Fortunately, since the Orc Raiders are engaged with me, they're not going to be contributing their threat to the overall enemy threat. So that's actually something that's kind of decent. Then we're going to add up my willpower, which is still 9, and the enemies actually have no threat. So I'm going to place 5 progress tokens on the Ruined Road, and then 4 progress tokens on Approaching Rivendell. So I'm actually going to place 9 more progress tokens, and then I'll win the game. So looking good, but terrible things can always happen in the home stretch. So I'm not going to go ahead and engage with anyone else. I don't have to deal with this bear until I absolutely need to. And so then the Orc Raiders are going to now attack me. I'm going to ready Merry. So he's going to be able to do something useful, most likely. Alright, so I think I'm going to have him just make an undefended attack against me. And then I'll be able to take him out with Merry and the Veteran Axe Hand. Okay, so now we do have a shadow effect here, and it says deal 1 damage to each ally in play. What did I tell you? But actually, this isn't going to be too bad, because Arwen and the Veteran Axe Hand still have 1 hit point left each, so they're going to be able to stay alive. Just a reminder, if Arwen ever dies, I do lose the game. So if we actually have another shadow effect that's identical to that one, then we actually would lose the game. So that's not great. Then it's going to be 3 damage, and it's going to hit Frodo, so my threat's going to go up back to 27, and then Merry and the Veteran Axe Hand are going to deal a collective total of 5 damage to the Orc Raiders, -1 because of his defense, but he's now dead. Okay, so now we're going to gain 1 threat, and ready everybody. Okay, 1 resource to each hero, and draw a card. Alright, ooh, this is going to be nice. So, Escort from Edoras costs 2, has 2 willpower, but has an ability saying, while committed to a quest, Escort from Edoras gets +2 willpower. So this is essentially 4 willpower. But unfortunately it says, after resolving a quest to which Escort from Edoras was committed, discard Escort from Edoras from play. So it's 4 willpower, just single time use, but still 4 willpower is great. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and actually play that, costing me 2, and then don't have enough to pay for Skinbark, and I'm going to go ahead and exhaust everybody here, except for the Veteran Axe Hand. Because I'm exhausting Arwen, I'm going to place 1 resource on Frodo, which will allow him to be able to play Test of Will if I need to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and reveal a card here, and it's another Orc Raider, so he's going to engage me. And then I have to discard 2 attachments I control. Oh no! So I only have 1, so I'm actually only discarding 1, but still I'm losing Unexpected Courage. That's not great. I don't like that at all. But there are no enemies inside the staging area contributing any threat because the Wild Bear still has 0 threat, and the Orc Raiders are engaged with me. So now my total willpower is not 9. It has been for much of the entire game, but Escort from Edoras gives me +4, so I'm going with a total of 13 threat, which is really shaking things up. I'm really getting used to that 9 threat. So all 14 of my willpower points are actually going to be going through because there's no threat. It's going to be converted into progress tokens. So I'm going to be able to place 14 progress tokens on this quest card, which is more than I need. And I already have 4 progress tokens on the quest card, so I'm going to have 5 additional progress tokens on this quest card than I actually need, which is just great. So I definitely clear this quest, and now it doesn't even matter that the Orc Raiders engaged me and I don't have my Unexpected Courage, because I have won the game. And now we've reached Rivendell, and the Orc Raiders and the bear run away because they don't really want to have to deal with all of Rivendell at this moment. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are a new player to Lord of the Rings, I would encourage you to purchase the core set and try it out for yourself. And I hope this video helps you understand how to play this game. And if you are an experienced Lord of the Rings player, I hope you just enjoyed seeing my take on this scenario. Please consider liking this video, subscribing to MalStorm Gaming, and then hitting that bell icon so that you're notified whenever I upload more content just like this. But until next time, thank you for watching and happy gaming.